What's up, Team Takeover? This is the Painting of Progressive IQWrestler. Gonna talk about UFC Fight Night real quick and then run down some other stuff. I didn't get to see the whole card, so I'll just talk about the fights I did get to see. First fight was the Korean Zombie Chan Sung Young versus Lenny Garcia 2. And this fight was really good. This was the fine night. And again, it was really close on the feet like the first fight. But the difference was, like I thought it would be, was Korean Zombie used his judo and his ground game. It was a very underrated ground game. And he used it spectacularly in this fight. Easily outclassed Garcia in the clinch, in the wrestling and on the ground, and put him away with the first ever in UFC history and possibly the first ever in MMA history, an octopus stretch, aka a twister. Wow, huh? After the weird loss to George Roop, I don't know what the hell was wrong with the Korean Zombie in that fight. He bounces back here and is 2-0, not officially, but anyone who's seen it knows he's 2-0 against Lenny Garcia now. This was a really great fight. Not as good as the first fight, of course, but, if you're expecting it to be, then you're setting yourself up to be let down, because it's pretty damn hard to top the first fight. So a great win, a spectacular finish. Submission of the year for sure. We're not going to see anything that's going to top that. And a really great win for Chan Sung Young. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. Who he'll fight next. It's a tough call on who to match him up against. I think he'll be a competitive fight for just about everyone. And, Lenny Garcia, he'll make it an exciting fight, for sure. I would love to see the rematch versus Nam Fan now. I'll be surprised if that doesn't happen. So a great fight by both guys, really. And an awesome ending. What can you say about the ending? That hasn't already been said. Next fight was Amir Sadola versus Demarcus Johnson. Not really a fan of either guy. Both guys are good fighters. And this fight turned out to be really good, actually. A lot of back and forth action on the feet and on the ground. Some sick submissions. I thought I saw a scarf hold attempt by Sadola at one point, which was awesome. Really old school move that you don't see a lot anymore. This was a tough one to call at the end of round one. I felt like DeMarcus edged it just a little bit at the end of round one. And round two was all Sadola. Sadola caught DeMarcus really early in the second round and knocked him loopy, and Demarcus Johnson never really recovered from that, and Sadola finished him off with some sick elbows on the ground. They were vicious. So, a good win for Sadola there. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from here. I don't think he'll beat any of the top guys, but if you give him a solid mid-card guy, he'll do really well, I think, against any of those mid-pack guys. Demarcus Johnson, you could say the same thing about him. Give him a solid mid-card guy, and he'll make a good fight out of that. So, it was a good fight, an exciting fight. Next was Anthony Johnson versus Dan Hardy. I'm a big Dan Hardy fan, but I thought Anthony Johnson would be too much with his striking and his power. Didn't turn out that way, did it? One of the most boring fights I've ever had to sit through. It really rivals Takada versus Royce Gracie from Pride. If any of you seen that fight, it is painful to watch, and this rivaled it. It was that bad. It was shocking. There's not much to say about this fight. Johnson laid on Hardy for 15 minutes. That's That's all that happened. I would hate to see Dan Hardy get cut after such a shitty fight. I like Dan Hardy a lot, you know. I like his style, and he's got, you know, he's got some cool. He's got a good gimmick, you know. He's a cool guy. He's a likable guy, which is a rare thing in the British fighters. So, you know, I'd like to see Dan Hardy get another fight. This is his third loss in a row, though. I feel like Dana's going to give him another shot, because he's a very marketable guy. Anthony Johnson, you know, this fight didn't do anything for him, I don't think. He won, but it was bad. You know, I'm not sure many people want to see him fight after such an abysmal performance. I'd like to see him fight John Howard. I think that'd be awesome. I think John Howard would make it a great fight for him. So I hope that happens. Dan Hardy, it's tough to say who he'll fight next. Maybe, man, I don't know, Paulo Thiago maybe? That'd be a good fight. Both guys, you know, really need a win. So I'm sure that'd be an exciting fight. And then in the main event we had Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff versus Nugget. You know, this was a changing of the guard. I was solidly behind Nog Light in this fight. I like Phil Davis a lot though. He's a really cool guy. But I was really backing Lil Nog in this fight. And in round one he looked amazing. He was stuffing all the takedowns. His boxing looked good. I thought he easily won the first round. You know, Bloodstain said it in one of his vlogs. A good defense should outscore a shitty offense. And that's why I think Lil Nog easily won the first round. In the second round, Nog started slow a little bit, and Phil Davis changed up his game and went from double legs to single legs, which was a very smart move. Not enough guys do the single leg anymore. You know, and on the ground, Phil Davis did really pour it on Lil Nog in the second round on the ground. And then in the third round, Lil Nog was starting to get tired, and Phil Davis didn't really do much either. You know, Phil Davis took it, obviously. I was surprised to see all three judges gave all 3 rounds to Phil Davis. I thought that was pretty bullshit. But, you know, it is what it is. We're in a wrestler's age. You know, it won't stay that way forever. These things go in cycles. And jiu-jitsu, then striking, now it's wrestling, and then there'll be something else in a couple of years. You know, wrestling won't stay on top forever. Phil Davis, it's tough. This performance was good. Was a solid performance against a steep challenge in Lil Nog, and he took it on, you know, sort of short notice. You know, it's pretty obvious from this fight he's not ready for the top guys in the division. You know, but if you give him someone else, sort of that, you know, at that level between the mid guys and the top guys, like a Ryan Bader, I think he could easily beat Ryan Bader. You know, one of those guys, and he'll do really well. Couple more years, and then he'll probably be ready for his title shot, but not yet. Not yet at all. And Lil Nog, it kills me to say it. It really kills me to say it. Because I'm such a Pride fanboy, but, you know, he's sort of a gatekeeper now. You know, it's tough to say who he'll fight next. Yeah, it's really tough to say who he'll fight next. I'd like to see him change up his game a little bit. In the UFC, he's been using his outstanding boxing, but he's been trying to counterpunch, and he doesn't have the reflexes for it anymore. You know, I'd like to see him change it up and be really aggressive with his striking. And on the ground, he hasn't been very active either, actually. You know, I thought he could have probably caught Phil Davis in something if he really tried, but, you know, he was content to just sort of ride it out. That was the show. You know, it was pretty bad, but, you know, a couple of good fights on there worth watching. Overall, not one of the better free shows the UFC have done. I wouldn't say it was a waste of time. It was alright. It was okay. Another thing I want to talk about was M-1 Challenge. This was the first M-1 on Showtime, and it was amazing. People shit all over M-1 for draw management and whatever, but as a promotion, you cannot deny M-1 put on consistently amazing fights. I mean, I have never seen a bad M1 show. I've stayed up until 6 a.m. just to watch M1 on their website. Their shows are that good and that worth watching. You know, they have guys that just go for the finish. You know, you don't see Lamprey or Rawlins Stall or any of that garbage, you know. They finish fights in M1. And, you know, mad props to everyone in M1 and all their fighters, you know, for such a great show. This was the first fight on Showtime, like I said, and it was amazing. Alexander Sanovsky looked incredible against Bo Baker. It was like, he reminded me a lot of a really young Ninja Hua. Not Shogun, but Ninja, you know, way back when Ninja first burst into Pride, and he looked amazing. He was charging forward, throwing everything he had at Bo Baker, and smoked him pretty damn easily. Sanovsky is now 13-0, I think. So keep your eye on him for sure. He's been around quite a while, but you know, he's going to do big things. Vinny Magalesh looked really good. Sabine Jake Dora. You know, Vinny Magalesh has had some ups and downs, but he looked amazing in this fight. And of course, the highlight, to anyone who's seen it already knows, was Magomed Sultanagomedov taking out Tyson Jeffries in brutal, disgustingly brutal fashion. You know, Bloodstains called him the new Crow Cop. You know, I've been watching Magomed a long time, all the way back in Dream and all that, before that, when he got submitted by Zalek Galasic. You know, and he's just improved so much. I don't know if I'd call him the new Crow Cop yet, but man, M1 have a star on their hands with this guy. It was so brutal. And Tyson Jeffries is a good fighter, man. He's a tough fighter, and Magomed just smoked him so bad. You know, I was cringing watching this fight. It was vicious. It was disgusting. So, you know, M1 have a star on their hands with the White Wolf, Magomed Sultanagomedov. Then the main event was Jose Figueroa versus Artem Damkovsky. This was another awesome fight. Really back and forth, really back and forth. Figueroa smashed Damkovsky's face. His nose was busted bad, I think. He had lots of little cuts around his eyes and that, and but you know, props to Artem. You know, he hung in there and he made a fight out of it. But Figueroa was just, you know, just too much. Hurt him too bad, and he won the fight in the second round in another awesome fight. You know, I can't wait for more M-1. You know, these guys are awesome. They put on just great fights, just great fights. That was it. That's all I watched. There was Bellator and Titan. I didn't watch Titan because I heard it was rubbish. And I haven't got to see Bellator yet. So that's it. Shout out to both Stan Lane and Mr. Fahrenheit. I saw the new vid. It was great stuff. Keeping it fresh, mixing it up. I did that. Shout outs to Sambo. Shout outs to Wayne Schotter. Shout outs to Sean Sinha. Shout outs to Gumby. Shout outs to Fletch. Shout outs to Chuck Foss. Shout outs to the Black Fedora. Shout outs to J-Ride. Shout outs to Brittany Ann, of course. Shout outs to Michael Chevello. Thanks for watching my vids, mate. Shout outs to Brittany Ann. Shout outs to Haley. Shout outs to all my peeps on Twitter. Shout outs to all Team Takeover. Your life, you know what to do with it. Peace out.